friends, family, and faculty. I would like to thank you for allowing me to speak to you here today on this momentous occasion, and for supporting both me and my classmates as we made our way through high school. A while ago, I was rifling through a pile of papers that had accumulated on my kitchen counter when I came across the certificate I received when I was inducted into the National Honor Society. I paused for a moment, slightly confused. Something was different about the certificate. Yes, it definitely looked different than it did on induction day. Scribbled across the left side of it in black marker was the following note. Butch called, said he can do some work on the house tomorrow. Butch is a family friend who helps with home improvement projects. I studied the handwriting more closely. Sure enough, this was the work of my 14-year-old brother. He had nonchalantly defaced my National Honor Society certificate, thinking it was scrap paper. Now, to be perfectly honest, and with no disrespect to NHS or any NHS inductee, when I showed this new and improved certificate to my mother, we had a good laugh over it. I suppose I could have gotten really upset, but the truth is, it is just a piece of paper. By that, I do not mean to diminish the value of hard work that gains one membership into NHS, or the skills and accomplishments that result in awards or other public recognition. But keeping perspective on all of it is important. Just because my certificate is not perfect for framing does not mean I've achieved any less. And speaking more broadly, recognition by others, or the accumulation of awards, titles, and certificates, in my opinion, does not and should not define you or your value. Some of you might be familiar with the book titled Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. It is a book about the life lessons a dying man named Maury Schwartz shares with one of his former students, Mitch Albom. On the topic of living a life of satisfaction, Maury said, "If you're trying to show off for people at the top, forget it. They will look down at you anyhow. And if you're trying to show off for people at the bottom, forget it. They will only envy you. Status will get you nowhere." End quote. Some people may accomplish very little and get recognized publicly for it, while other people might accomplish a great deal with barely anyone ever knowing. Because of this, if your primary motivation is external validation by others, you may be disappointed many times. That is why awards, titles, statuses, or recognition must be kept in perspective. They do not characterize a person or the worth of what he or she has done in his or her life. The better thing to do is to seek internal gratification. By that I mean you can't let other people or the prospect of gaining an external and superficial prize, like an award or the approval of others, dictate your choices in life. You should work hard not for the prospect of being recognized for it, but in order to better yourself. And if you avoid making comparisons to others, it's amazing how much happier and proud it can make you feel. The better thing to do is to set a goal and work to achieve it. Whether it's teaching kids, being on Broadway, becoming a nurse or doctor, or raising a family, hard work and commitment will get you there. The fact that you get there is what matters, not the approval of others you may or may not get along the way. To quote Maury once again, "Do the kinds of things that come from the heart. When you do, you won't be dissatisfied. You won't be envious. You won't be longing for somebody else's things. On the contrary, you'll be overwhelmed with what comes back." Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce the co-salutatorian of the class, Kevin Paley.